Hi, welcome. So we're going to do a little energy reading, see if there's an energy that wants to come through. I'm just opening ourselves up to that. And some words here. Oh, funny, we have the words swallow and taste all in one. Grab. Very related. Okay, there's blame and wrestle. There's rough, admit, give. Interesting. And then taste. Oh, swollen, not swallow. Swollen. Taste, swollen, trade. It almost feels like this whole admit, like it's rough, it's like admit, give, trade. There's like a compromise energy here, whereas before maybe it was like more blaming and wrestling for control or power. And I don't know what taste and swollen is, but maybe it has to do with the energy or the person's energy wanting to come through. But that's for you to decide. That's why I love these words that come through. It's so weird how a lot of times they're just so relevant. So anyway, thanks for being here. And I feel like I don't know if this is related, but what I was thinking about right before we started is a more than one conversation I've had with people lately, different people, about how when we're dealing with physical pain, it can just take over everything in our lives. Like our whole mood, our whole outlook, everything changes. It's almost like we're not even the same person anymore, right? Isn't that wild how our physicality, our physical wellness just has everything to do with our overall wellness. And so like to give ourselves grace in those times is, I think, really important. I don't know why. It must have been a theme for this week. So thanks for letting me share that. What's going on here? Okay. So I thought I could use these. And I was thinking I need to split all this up. This box is too small for all the things, and they all just want to pop out all the time everywhere. I'm just trying to shuffle them up a little bit. Let's see about that. Lay out a few of those. They're all kind of coagulated in one spot. Those darn eyeballs. I gotta flip over the eyeballs. They're all upside down. Okay, and lastly, I'm gonna get. Okay. Ooh, I think that was too many. Sorry for the loud noises. Okay, so hold on. I'm just gonna take a second. I'm gonna pause for a second. Okay, I'm back. I sipped my coffee. I took a peek. And then a cat came in. Hi, Jellybean. Come on. Come on up here. And what immediately stands out to me is there's this period of growth going on. So it's almost like where you once may have been a go it alone person. How do I want to say that? Highly independent, go it alone, don't need anybody else. Now it's like you're understanding the need for not just companionship, but like other people's opinions, and there's value in sharing, if that makes sense. I don't know if it's a personal relationship or just in the broader, it feels like in the broader sense. Could be in a personal relationship also. but because I do see that compromise thing coming through here as well. There's also maybe like this, I don't know, I just keep getting this feeling that you maybe had this idea of specialness about yourself, and that is like you've matured beyond that now. You're like, yeah, we're all special. There's nothing special about specialness. I don't know why I feel that. It just feels like, I don't know. Maybe it's like a maturity is happening, and a big transformative period for sure. And it's also like a heart growth, emotional. It's an emotional maturity. That's what it is. And that's what's happening here. So there's a lot of good growth stuff that's going to lead to more substantial, deep, fulfilling relationships, friendships, you know, that type of stuff. So where do we want to go from here? Maybe we will use these new cards again and see. Actually, you know what? I kept getting this. Okay, I haven't used these in a while, and I kept getting the feeling to use these little ones. So let's start here. Let's get like a high-level message here. Thanks for being here. We have the Knight of Wands. The Eight of Cups. Oh. Interesting. And the King of Wands. I don't think that's Queen. I think I looked this up before in this deck. The crowns look a little different. I think this is the King of Wands. Yeah. So right away it does feel like a maybe this maturity is happening because you're like, I don't want the same old anymore. I'm moving. I want more. I'm not going to settle for the way things have been. And it's not just a heart emotional. It's like you're figuring out what you're meant to be doing here, like as in life, not just like a job or whatever. But it's almost like you're coming to this conclusion, like, I need to know what matters to me. Like, what do you value? That's what it is. It's an emotional maturity out of like figuring out what your values are, not just being, led by what other people think is important, or society thinks is important, or whoever told you were special. And wherever you got that idea of specialness. Now it's like, well, wait a minute, what do I value? It's not about what people are, who people are telling me I am. It's like, who am I? But it's about what you think is important is where you're going to put your energy, and you're going off to find that thing. Going off whatever, you're seeking that thing. You're taking action in that direction, or at least, or an action is being called for you to take in that direction. Okay, so that's what we have at the high level. I kind of want to get an overall energy. We have the Ten of Wands. Okay, so that's what you're moving on from, is you have been an individual, like going it alone, doing it all yourself, but it hasn't been what you've wanted. There's this idea of like pushing through, doing it all alone based on some idea that you had that wasn't really based on your values. So anyway, that's what we have there. So let's learn more. I'm going to do a different kind of spread here. Hold on. Okay. So we have the Two of Swords. These are the new ones, so they're a little hard to pull apart. The Six of Wands. Okay, so right away you have the Two of Swords crossed by the Six of Wands. This is a journey of self-discovery. But there is this idea that whole I wondered why I used the word specialness. There's this, that's what you're trying to overcome. You're like, you do have this in the past, this wanting to be noticed, right? Seen. We all do, but why? In the past, it wasn't anchored in your substance. It was anchored in superficial stuff, let's say, whatever that is for you. This is the journey of transformation. This change you're going through, this growth rather, is more like, I want to be seen and known for what really matters. Like, who am I? What do I value? What do I want to be seen and known as, witnessed as, not just superficially? So you're gaining some depth, whatever you're doing. And so something is like this, there is like this tuning out other people's opinions, or even just society at large. Okay, that's where we are. Let's see here. We have the Ace of Swords. So there's this whole undercurrent of like trying to find this clarity, which is interesting that it would show up as the Ace of Swords, that kind of clarity in who you are. I would have almost thought Ace of Wands, but there's something here, and maybe that's that vibe I've been feeling. It's like very like sharp of, still very mind-based, as in, it almost feels like a young person's journey, like when a young person is like going out on their own and going into the world and figuring stuff out. So it feels like that kind of, not that you have to be young in age, but it's like wherever you are on your life path, it could just be that now it's like this starting fresh feeling. And that's where that youth feeling comes in, the freshness. So it's like, however old you are, doesn't matter. But there's a freshness with this clarity. Okay, let's keep going. And then we have the Empress. So there's something that's big energy of like wanting to receive all that's meant for you. It almost feels like you did recognize there was like a turning point here where you recognize that you were the one that, through not digging deep up to this point, we're keeping things from yourself just because of your lack of awareness. I don't know how to say this. Oh, I'm struggling for the words. I got the vibe, but there's just such a maturity happening, just such a growth on a lot of different levels. I'm feeling it most like a lot of mind, some emotion, like depth of character. Why am I even here on this earth? It's almost like a fresh perspective is happening that's leading to this growth spurt. Yeah. Okay. But and in your mind, you're like, I'm not settling for all that superficial stuff anymore. I want all the important stuff that's meant for me. Okay. Whew. And then we have the Queen of Wands. If this were a trajectory, this and leading to, wow. So this Queen of Wands, it almost feels like in the past there's been a confidence that it's like earlier I almost said this and I'm like, no, that's stupid, because I never say it in real life. Like, this is in real life, but you know what I mean. the hubris of youth is what I was going to say earlier, and I forget at what point I was about to say it. This showing up in the past feels like not an overconfidence, but you were definitely confident with who you were up to that point. You're well liked. I think, like, maybe you're charismatic. That's the word. It feels like you're pretty charismatic. People are drawn to you. And maybe that led to the superficiality of things. That's normal. Don't feel bad about that. It's just now there's a turning point. You're going deep. You want more than that. You want to be seen for more than that. So that's great. You got the confidence. Now in the future trajectory, past this, like this tuning everything out, finding your direction, wanting to be seen for the real you, the you that's undergoing this growth, maturity, is leading to an awakening. It's like this could be huge depending on how deep you go down this rabbit hole. So this could be like a spiritual awakening. Sorry, you can't see these cards. Yeah, so this is, I'm going to have to move all of these up because I don't have a lot of space. So I just want you to see these since they're a new deck. It's like some cool, it's like vintage tattoo artwork. And then there's your Ace of Swords here in the undercurrent. So depending on how far you go with this could be a spiritual awakening time. I mean, you have the Eight of Cups. So it's like you're at a turning point where you're like, it's like no turning back. I'm not turning back. I'm growing. It's like you've got all of this like wand energy. You're finding out what's important to you. You're not looking back. You are searching for depth of character so that you will be seen for the real you, the new real you, which is based on what you really value. And yeah, if nothing else, you're moving into this period of like authenticity. And you're like, well, what's that even mean? And well, you're going off to find it, your authentic self. What feels right to you, like putting on a new skin. So that's interesting. And then let's keep going. Oh, in your heart's desires, you have the moon. So that is definitely some self-discovery time. This is pretty cool. It because that's showing up in this placement, feels like that's what you've been wanting for a long time. A long time. And then in the surrounding energy, you have the sun. You have the moon and the sun. So, sorry, you can't see that either. So the sun is here. You've got all of this optimism around you, which I'm coming back here to the collage. And I definitely saw that here. I wouldn't be surprised if we got the star also. But the sun, you've got this, again, a fresh youthfulness about you, this hope and optimism surrounding this whole journey. You got the King of Pentacles in the hopes and fears. Sorry, you're going to see that too. I don't know why he has devil horns. It's interesting. But this is, it almost feels like the hope, if the fear part, I'm not so sure about if there's anything showing up there. It could just be the fear of not gaining everything you want by digging deep into this and reverting back to maybe the way you've been in the past. I don't see too much of that here, but it almost feels like you're off to search for your abundance. And I don't like to use that word anymore, but I'm saying that because you also have the Empress. So it's like that's definitely top of mind. It's of hope, the hope you have when going off in this self-discovery is that it will lead to all the good things in life that are meant for you. So that's not a bad thing. And then you have the Seven of Wands in the potential future outcome. This is you. That's funny. Because the Seven of Wands sometimes will show up, I would say, right here in the heart of the spread on this type of journey. But it being in the potential future outcome means you haven't done a lot of soul searching, spent a lot of time on your own. Maybe you've surrounded yourself with people. Again, you're very charismatic. Now it's like this journey takes you into a place of you're such peace with being with yourself. That's beautiful. Oh, I love this for you. Whoever you are. So what I'd like to do is clarify a few things. I think we're going to have to go into an extended. Maybe. Actually, maybe not. Actually, yes, let's do an extended. Sorry. It's just that it might go much deeper and I don't want to take a lot of your time. So if this resonates with you, follow a link over to the extended where we're going to go a lot deeper. And then if you don't want to go over to the extended, but you still have questions, please reach out. We can do a one-on-one reading, take this even deeper. So thank you for being here, and bye-bye.